Hello everyone, welcome back to Jenna Voice. Today's video I wanted to make all about what to wear to an audition, tips and tricks for what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and how just in general to look your best for an audition. So I have to say this video is definitely going to be geared more towards women, only because I am a woman. My knowledge of what men wear is kind of minimal. In general, I can say for men, it's great for you to own 1 to 2 really good, well-fitted suits, making sure that they fit you really well and comfortably and present you in the best way. I would recommend starting with a black suit, and then secondly, perhaps a color such as navy or a shade of gray that complements your skin tone, your hair color. You should also have a couple of pairs of really nice shoes. Again, probably a black pair and then probably a brown pair. But of course, make sure those pair nicely with the color of suits that you've gotten. You by no means need to wear a tuxedo for auditions. That's going a little bit overboard. Just getting a really nice suit is very appropriate. And of course, having some good white button-down shirts and complementary ties that will go with the suits, of course, and won't be too distracting or loud in terms of their patterns or colors. And that's about it. You can of course add your own personal touches when it comes to accessorizing your suits with cufflinks and the belts that you choose to wear. But yeah, that's kind of up to you. Like I said, making sure you just look your best and the suit is well fitted to you are probably my 2 biggest tips. When it comes to ladies, it gets much more complicated. We have many more options and we also have many more pieces to put together. I had thought about doing kind of a mini show for you guys with some pictures of me in my favorite audition dresses, but then I thought, honestly, my body type doesn't necessarily represent everybody who's watching this video. It doesn't represent every body type that's out there, so I didn't see that being particularly helpful for everybody. So I'm just gonna do my best to be descriptive verbally, and of course making sure that the dresses that you choose complement your body type. That is the #1 priority, making sure you find dresses that fit you well, that you're comfortable and confident in. It's the most important thing. So start there, start what looks good on you, knowing your body type and what fits well and what you'll be comfortable in walking around, doing a bit of movement depending on what your piece is, all of this sort of stuff. So start with what's suitable for your body type. When it comes to color, I would suggest having one dress in black because black is timeless. Black always looks good, cleans up nicely. It works in any season really, and you'll use it for so many other purposes. You need to have at least one black dress that's not a gown. And then when it comes to other colors, you may have heard this before, but people bring up the jewel tones, and I have to agree that the jewel tones are a great place to start with colors. When you say jewel tones, look up literal jewels that people wear. Those sorts of naturally occurring colors like rubies, emeralds, sapphires, deep blues, purples, reds, greens. And I think the reason for that is because really those colors look good on any skin color, any skin tone. It'll complement anybody, depending if you're as white as me or you're really dark, or really somewhere in between, I can pretty much guarantee that jewel toned colors will look good on you no matter what. So if you are looking for a very professional looking color of a dress, start with jewel tones. I wouldn't say you're necessarily limited to these. There are of course other colors out there. Just make sure if you're going with another color that, again, it complements you. It doesn't take away from your face or seem too loud or bold. If you're choosing a dress that has a print on it, I would be very, very careful. Make sure that it's probably a more minimal print, something like polka dots or stripes are probably okay. But if you're choosing something that has a lot of noisy patterns and kind of just takes away from, again, you, the singer, it's considered a distraction. So be careful of that if you're choosing something with patterns in it. So be careful of that if you are choosing something that has patterns. When it comes to length of your dress, personally, I like to stay around knee length, that being just above the knee or on the knee or just below the knee are kind of where I like to stay range-wise. You can go a little bit shorter than that, but I would not go above mid-calf personally. It just doesn't look as professional, shall I say. If you have something that's a little bit on the shorter side, but you're still thinking, you know, I think this is still okay to wear, maybe just put on pantyhose or tights underneath to give you a bit of more leg coverage, just to make sure the attention isn't on your thighs. And there are some judges out there who have a more modest mindset, so just keep that in mind. Kind of treat this almost as a church gig. Would you wear this to church? I wouldn't choose something that has a ton of cleavage showing or bare shouldered, in my opinion. But you don't necessarily need to do that. I'm not saying that that's like a set in stone rule. But if you're going to choose a dress that shows skin in one area in particular, I would suggest do your best to make sure that you have a pretty decent coverage for the rest of your skin to kind of balance it out. Because if it's strapless and low cut and short on the bottom and skin tight, it's just not gonna give the best first impression. I can pretty much guarantee that. So consider modesty to be pretty important when it comes to choosing your audition outfits. Along with that, I personally really like to wear pantyhose underneath my short length dresses, even the ones that are knee length. I just think it gives a cleaner finish to your legs. It looks just a little bit more professional. But again, you don't have to do that. Just something to consider. A lot of the ones I wear are nude in color, so you don't really see them from afar, but it just, I think it looks a little bit nicer. And then when it comes to shoes, number one, make sure you can walk in them is my biggest thing. For most women, it's kind of an unspoken rule that we have to wear heels. If you are someone who genuinely cannot wear heels and walk in them or be comfortable, then just don't. Wear really, really nice flats, or even character shoes are okay. They can be just like little kitten pump heels. They don't need to be stilettos. In fact, I would steer away from anything above 3.5 or 4 inch heel, just because it looks a little bit nicer. I would suggest just taking a look at Kate Middleton for reference. Most of her dresses are very modest. I mean, she's a princess. She's kind of required to dress modestly, but her heels too, they're at a very modest but still very feminine length. And if you can find a heel out there like that, it's gonna work in your favor. If you don't have any heels and you're looking to get some, I would first of all choose a pair that's black, because that will go with everything. Secondly, perhaps a pair that is nude or another jewel toned color. I have a pair of heels that are a deep burgundy color, and I absolutely love to wear them. I wear them a lot actually with my black dresses, because it's just a little bit of pop of color against the black, and it's fun but still really professional looking. So if you can find a pair like that that you know will go with a lot of your dresses, absolutely go for it. But the number one thing should be comfort and functionality. If you can't walk in them and you walk into your audition kind of tripping over your heels or walking or waddling awkwardly, like, it just doesn't look good. It's a bad first impression. So definitely take that in consideration. Practice walking in your shoes and make sure they will actually really work for your audition. As far as accessories go, you don't need to necessarily have really big, blingy, expensive pieces of jewelry. Most of the pieces that I have are fake, but they look really nice. If you can find a vintage store or a secondhand shop, you might get lucky and find some really nice pieces at a very cheap price. There's also another store that I will recommend. It's called Charming Charlie. I had not heard of it until I came to Salt Lake. I don't know where all of their stores are, but I think they also have an online website. Check them out if you have not heard of them. They have so much jewelry, the greatest selection of jewelry I have ever seen in any store, and it is super affordable, like really, really affordable. I got a couple of sets of really delicate necklaces and earring sets, and I think they were about $30 or $35, and they look really nice, like really nice. So I would absolutely recommend checking that place out. When in doubt, you could have just a couple pairs of really nice studs. Even the ones that I'm wearing right now, these have a bit of an orange tint to them, so I maybe wouldn't recommend this color, but a simple pair of fake looking diamonds. I mean, most fake earrings now look a lot better than they used to back in our childhood days, perhaps. A lot of fake jewelry, fake pearls, fake diamonds, they look pretty dang good. They look real from a distance. The only people who really know that they're fake are you, unless you tell people they are. Like, who's to know, really? So I have some fake pearls, I have fake diamonds, like I said, and these go a long way at just kind of tying your look together. If you're a person who likes to wear dangly earrings, I am on occasion. I have a couple of pairs of kind of fancier fake diamond looking dangly earrings, and that's totally fine too. I would recommend though, like I said with dressing yourself, to consider balance. So if you choose to wear a bolder earring, I would recommend not wearing a necklace, and maybe like a delicate bracelet. But if you have too much going on all up here, it's again gonna take away from you, the artist, which needs to be the focus. We're looking to enhance, not to embellish or distract. So keep that in mind. I think that's about all I have to say in terms of what you should wear for an audition outfit, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Like I said, look at Kate Middleton. Her fashion is very timeless, very professional, and still comfortable looking for the most part. So I would start there in terms of just like the lengths of dresses that she chooses. You don't necessarily need to pick the style of dress that she wears. She's a very petite and skinny woman. Most of us don't have that same sort of build. So again, always considering your body type and what looks good on you is first and foremost, and then second I would consider modesty, and then just enhancing or complementing your best features, and you'll be set to go. So those are my best tips for getting ready and dressing for an audition. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below if there are other tips in regards to what you wear to your auditions that I did not mention. I'd love to hear your input and what you like to do. And as always, make sure you're subscribed so you can keep up with more videos like this one. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.